Hey everybody, welcome back to Webheads. I'm your co-host DeMarco, and we got my co-host slash brother, Steven.
What's up, guys?
How you guys doing today? Let's kick it off.
Hello, hello,
So, so what have you been up to?
Not much. We just my other show, Memories Not Guaranteed, we just put out a new episode. We're back from our break. So yeah, we've been working on that. And just normal work. Yeah, not much. Pretty quiet lately. How about you?
Nothing. We're finally recording in person. So
In
this
person,
is new,
face to face.
face to face for the first time. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, you're a lot shorter than I thought.
I get that from most people. But I haven't been up to anything. The drive over here sucked.
I was gonna ask you how long it took you to get here.
Not a half hour,
Yeah.
but the freeway sucks.
Uh,
Coming over here, so I'm just bouncing the whole time. Me and other people are looking over at each other, just staring, and like, are you dancing or are you just? It's because we're on the road here. But that's other than that, not much.
there was hella traffic going that way or coming this way yesterday.
Yeah,
I guess they were doing some construction and stuff.
yeah, they're always doing
There's
construction.
Literally standstill traffic.
There's always construction, and nothing ever gets fixed ever.
I know. I was thinking about that the other day. I was just like, I wonder if they just kind of put up the signs and do something just so that it looks like they're using our taxpayer money for something.
It's like when you go to LA. Like every time I drive to LA, there's literally construction every single time, and nothing looks different.
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah, when we were driving there the other day or a couple of weeks ago. The freeway, they were expanding it by like 2 lanes on each side, but it's like it looks like it's already done, but they had it closed off and everything.
Yeah, it's been like that for like 3 years. But but one thing I did want to talk about is this might not seem like a large number, but over the 8 episodes that we've put out, we got over 100 downloads.
Nice, thanks everybody.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't think that we would get that many this early on. Mostly because it's mostly Grandma that posts about it.
Grandma's like our number one. Like we should pay her.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. But yeah, she is the only. She's actually she is the only person that posts about it. Not to hate on any of you guys, but our grandma is like, if she should get into marketing. Yeah, we just got to work on her screenshotting skills. But other than that, she's great. So yeah, we reached 100 downloads recently. Not, like I said, not a large number, but
hey, I mean,
it's numbers.
Yeah, like I with this show and my other show, my goal wasn't to, become podcasts on Mount Podmore or anything. That's
my goal. But
it was just to have a show and just to talk about things that we liked.
Yeah.
And if people listen, they listen. But yeah, 100 downloads in 8 episodes is like.
That's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
So definitely appreciate it.
I got a little worried because the first episode, we had a lot of people come out and support, and that one got some really good numbers.
And then they listened to it and they're like,
no.
Woof.
I shouldn't have done that. Wasted an hour of my time. And then the second episode dropped pretty drastically. So I was like, oh, maybe Grandma doesn't have the pool that she thought she did. But they started to pick up. The Shang-Chi episode did really well.
Cool.
Which is good. I thought that was gonna. After I saw the movie, I was like, oh, that was a bust. But we've been doing good there, and so thank you guys. We really appreciate it. It was seeing the numbers come up recently over the past couple of weeks. It's been surprising every time I log in and see that.
Nice.
Yeah, especially on YouTube. Surprisingly, too. We had like 10 views on one episode. I was, what's going on here? And then I did have one shout out to my guy Gabe.
Oh yeah, Gabe.
Yeah, he pointed out he was listening through the episodes while he was working one day, and he was doing his Googles, doing his research, and found out that Paste Pot Pete is actually from Gary, Indiana. Paste Pot Pete slash the Trapster is from Gary, Indiana, which is where Gabe is from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't just look up that random guy. So
you go on the Wikipedia page for Gary, Indiana, and then it said notable people, and it said Paste Pot
yeah,
Pete.
Paste Pot Pete slash the Trapster. Yep, he's there. So yeah, Gabe sent me a message after he did his Googles and found that out, and then he also found out that Paste Pot is actually slang for white person. So thank you, Gabe. We appreciate that.
We should have Gabe on for like a trivia.
Yeah,
it's just random trivia.
Gabe, we're gonna have a Webheads trivia night, and you're gonna be the host for that night. So I'll start getting everything prepared for you. And he wanted me to give you guys a list of the most famous people from Gary, Indiana, the top 6. These are his choices. Number 1 was Michael Jackson. Not any of the other Jacksons. He doesn't care about that. Michael Jackson. Number 2, Paste Pot Pete. Number 3, rapper Freddie Gibbs. He's right up there. Number 4, MLB Network analyst Dan Plesac. Number 5, NBA player Glenn Robinson Jr. The third. Glenn Robinson the third. He's up there. And then number 6 was Gabe. So
he put Paste Pot Pete above himself.
And I don't want to put too much on Gabe's name. He didn't actually make that list. I made it for him. But
I was gonna say.
But shout out Gabe, shout out Gary, Indiana, and yeah, that was it. That's all I had. I've done nothing else but make that list and read 6. Yeah, 6. And those were the only 5 other people that I knew on the list of notable people on the Wikipedia page. So I just threw them in random order and put them up there.
But you know, I actually did do something yesterday. I went to the night market.
Okay.
Over here. It wasn't bad. It was a hell of people. Way more than the last time I went. I think I went 2019.
Me and Ferrier went in 2019 too.
Yeah, and like it was busy then, but it wasn't this busy.
Really?
There was hella people this time.
The Alameda County Fair keeps sending me a reminder that because I went to the drive-in movie thing that they did last year, they were giving a free ticket for this year's fair, which is coming up in a couple weeks, I think.
Oh yeah, in October.
Yeah. So they keep reminding me that I got a free ticket, but like it's funny because I don't know if I really enjoy going to the fair, but I go every single year.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like it's fun.
It's not,
but it's just
fun.
something to do.
Like I can tell you the exact thing we do every time. We get in, we don't go anywhere near the ride. We walk through that big auditorium where they have all the booths and stuff. We look at a few things, we walk out, we make our way around through the food places. We stop, we might buy a toy or something for Zara, and then we just start walking towards the exit. And then as we're walking towards the exit, everyone keeps saying, like, do you think you want to head out now? You guys want to go somewhere else? And it's the same thing every single year.
Yeah, I think that's the same for us.
Yeah.
And then we say, ooh, I want to try that. And then we don't try it. We end up getting something that we've already eaten before.
Yeah, every time.
At the night market, I don't know if you ever tried, I think it's called a honey stick.
Mm-mm.
They're like 100% from Hawaii, quote unquote. But they're like it's like a yellow stick in the shape of like a J. And it's hollow inside. And they put soft serve ice cream in it.
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah.
I've never had it. I didn't know what it was called.
I didn't have one before until yesterday, and it was pretty good. It tastes like a honeycomb cereal.
Is it just they only have like vanilla soft serve?
Yeah. So you just pay them, and then they just give you one.
Doesn't sound bad.
Yeah.
Is it the J part? Is it kind of like is it hard or is it like
no,
a waffle kind of?
It's like waffle consistency, I guess, or what did I say? maybe like the actual cereal. I would just compare it to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's thin like that, kind of.
It's a little thick, but you can bite into it.
I kept seeing stuff for the night market pop up recently, and I kept telling myself I wanted to go because like I said, we went a couple years ago, and it was cool. But it wasn't packed when we went last time. Like,
yeah. Yesterday it was packed.
It was like the food area was packed. Like I remember when we went, I waited in line for something to drink for like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, that you're gonna wait in line like no matter what.
Because I mean, it really is just food and like booths.
Like we left I think like 10ish, I think, around there, and we got there like 7, around 9 or 10. Like the lines weren't as long, but when we got there, they were like, you couldn't tell where one line for one booth ended and another one began because like they would just meet up in like the middle and like kind of cross.
That sounds like a nightmare. Imagine you're in that line and then like they start to meet up like that. And then you get to the front and then realize that you weren't in the line you wanted.
Yeah, we were in line and we were like maybe 10 people from the front, and Danny was like, what if I just didn't want this anymore? I was like, well, you're going to get it.
Pal, this is what we're eating. There's no going back now.
It's like we either wait in this line or we wait in another line.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's basically Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't do anything. Sounds like you had fun at least.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I got Zeal's wedding coming up next week.
Nice.
Yeah, so that should be fun. So this week we have we have the Kree-Skrull War. This is a hell of a story. I will say before I started the story that this was actually one of the better ones that we've read so far.
Like crossover event.
Well, this one's like a story arc.
Oh, okay.
Because it's all over. It's only within the Avengers comics.
Okay.
But yeah, this was a good one.
Before we did the podcast, and like, I would read comics before, but it'd basically just be like modern comics. I wouldn't really dive too deep into the older stuff. Yeah. But like the Kree-Skrull War is like one of the ones where like it's still echoed throughout the Marvel universe as like
it's brought up so many times.
Yeah, it's still a mainstay like story. So like it's that important of a story that it's still talked about to this day in the books. And
it's in new stuff, even in like events that happen after this one in like still the 70s and 80s. Yeah. It's like it's continuously brought up.
Yeah.
Like anytime Skrulls and Kree show up somewhere together, they're gonna bring it up.
Yeah, this is the equivalent in the Marvel universe to like World War II. Basically. It's like that big to where it's like, oh, this is like the Kree-Skrull War again.
Yeah,
like...
this is, and not to, I'm not even gonna say because it would diminish. It might offend somebody if I was to say what I was gonna say, and I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, it's brought up all the time, and it's it was surprisingly really good. We've had so many bad stories recently. I forgot until I started reading it again that I had read this whole thing previously. So like before we started this podcast, I would just kind of like look up like the 10 best events in Marvel history and stuff. So like I had found a list a while ago. I started reading through this one, and it was good because I remembered reading through it that like I had just taken like random screenshots of like certain panels and just like or like whole pages, and it was just I was like, damn, this is really good. And yeah, I don't think my storytelling might.
Yeah, so if you guys are listening, don't take his storytelling as, man, this is boring. Just go do your own reading or research or something.
All right, so I'm just going to name off a few of the characters that we have here, because there's a lot.
I can imagine.
Some of which you may not have heard of before. Some I don't think that we've hit in any of these events.
Probably not. We haven't really done any like space stuff.
No, not too much cosmic stuff, but the next couple of weeks is going to be cosmic heavy. We're going to space, baby.
To the moon.
All right, so we got, first off, Vision. Everybody knows Vision. We got Scarlet Witch.
Wanda Maximoff.
Yes. We got her brother, Quicksilver.
Pietro Maximoff.
Yes. Captain Marvel, the male Captain Marvel.
Marvel.
We got Rick Jones.
Rick Jones.
Rick Jones.
No code name.
And if anybody doesn't know Rick Jones, surprisingly, he's a former partner of Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
He replaced Bucky after Bucky died. Cap did not take very kindly to Rick being his partner ever. That didn't work out, and it didn't last very long. And he is bonded cosmically with Captain Marvel. So they both have these metal bands on their wrists.
Oh yeah.
And when they cling them together, they can one comes
Bash
to Earth.
Brothers.
Yeah, pretty much. One of them goes to Earth, the other one goes to what they call the negative zone, and they're just floating there. If they don't clang their wrists within, it sounds weird. It sounds like
explain that because I didn't know this. So like
okay, so if they don't clang their wrist at all, every 3 hours they switch.
So literally one comes to Earth, the other one goes to the negative
goes back
zone,
to the negative zone,
and just sits there waiting.
And they just float around in the negative zone.
But if 3 hours, if they don't,
then they
cling,
automatically switch.
They just switch.
Yeah. So like Rick has to just time his life like perfectly all the time. Because if not, mind you, at this time Rick's a teenager. He's 18, 19 years old. So he's got a girl. He's living his life as a teenager. He's trying to become a pop star. And he has to keep switching back and forth with Captain Marvel. And sometimes if they get into certain situations, they can cling those bands that they have on their wrists and then make the switch, which comes up a little bit in this story. And the next story that we do comes up a lot, that making that switch, but that's Rick.
Also, he is inadvertently the cause of the Incredible Hulk too. Bruce Banner turned into the Hulk because he was on the Air Force base where they were testing the bomb, and Bruce went to go push him into a ditch to save his life, and that's when he got hit with the gamma rays.
Damn it, Rick. We got Annihilus.
Ooh.
We got the Supreme Intelligence.
Ooh.
We got Ronan the Accuser.
Ooh.
We got a Sentry. We got Carol Danvers.
Pre-Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Or Miss Marvel, I should say.
Yeah, got Carol Danvers. And then we got Super Skrull. So we got some heavy hitters here.
Supreme Intelligence.
Yeah, we have
just like a giant head.
Basically just a giant head inside of a screen.
Yeah, it's all intelligence that's ever gone through the most smartest people of the Kree Empire.
Yeah.
In one sort of like floating, sort of like Zordon from Power Rangers.
That's exactly what I called him in my notes. So thanks for that. That actually helps. So yeah, we'll just get right into it. This is going to be a long story. I'm telling everybody now, there's a chance this goes
two parts.
So getting right into it. So it starts with Captain Marvel staring around as if he doesn't know where he is. He's kind of sketched out, and the Avengers are trying to help him out. They're all on the roof of the Avengers mansion.
But Captain Marvel is on the ground?
No, he's on the roof too. But he doesn't know.
Okay.
He's kind of spaced out. He doesn't know where he's at. He's trying to figure it all out. And the Avengers try to help him out, and he's not having it. So then Quicksilver tries to get him to get him up with force, because that's the first thing he goes to. I'm trying to help you. No, get off me. All right, well, whatever. Captain Marvel's not having that. He punches him in the face. And then he attacks Vision. And Vision, I'm sure we all mostly know his powers, but he phases out.
Yeah. He can increase his density or lessen his density to become almost invisible or super hard.
Yeah, intangible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vision phases out when Captain Marvel tries to punch him, but Captain Marvel blasts him with his Unibeam, so that makes Vision's powers just completely null and void.
Cosmic space powers.
Yeah. And Scarlet Witch tries to attack him, but he says that he's not going to fight a woman.
Mid-fight? Just whoa.
Wait a minute.
Have a seat, man.
Miss, this isn't your fight. I'm not going to hit you.
It strictly says in my contract, no women.
You see right here? No thanks. Sit down. So he says, I'm not going to hit a woman. And then he's like, screw this. And then he just blasts off. He takes off. And then before he gets anywhere, he gets blasted by Rick Jones. So he shoots off into the air. Before he gets maybe 5 feet into the air, Rick Jones shoots him.
With like a regular gun?
Yeah. Because okay, so I know when we explain this, like they have like this connection, and only one of them can be on Earth at a time. We'll get into it a little bit later in the story, but the reason that they can be in the same place at the same time right now is because Captain Marvel got into some cosmic space fight before this, and then landed on it. It punched him, like he got punched basically like through a portal that kicked him out of the negative zone. So now he's out of the negative zone, and Rick is out as well, but they
touching bracelets.
Yeah. So, but he also doesn't like. That's why he's so thrown off. It's because he doesn't know what the hell he's like. I was supposed to be in the negative zone. What the hell am I doing here?
At this point, has he met the Avengers before?
Briefly, yes.
Okay.
But right now, we're kind of working with the B team
of
the Avengers, and trust me, they are the B team. It sounds like they're strong because they have Vision and Scarlet Witch. No. So Rick blasts him. He falls back to the ground. And they pick him up and they leave with him, and they take him to a secret lab. They throw him in an electric chair to save the planet.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. They throw him straight in the electric chair in that lab. And they say it's solely to save the planet.
Is that going to give him his powers back?
And then we get a recent, after they put him in the electric chair to save the planet, we get a recent flashback to Rick Jones performing a concert, because I told you wanted to be a pop star. And then mid-concert, Captain Marvel starts to let it be known that the time limit's coming up, buddy. We're getting ready to switch. And
that's a question I had for you.
Yeah.
Can they communicate with each other?
Yes.
Like telepathically, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the problem is, when they communicate, whoever's on Earth is just like talking to thin air. So sometimes it'll look like they're crazy. And not everybody. Captain Marvel's a huge part of the next story that we do too. But not everybody in either story knows that he has that him and Rick can talk to each other like that. So it leads to some weird things where Rick's just like standing in the street, just like talking. And they're like, what's going on?
Oh yeah, this is like the 70s, so it's like they can't just like pick up their phone and pretend they're talking to somebody, or like put their earbuds in.
No, Rick's just in the middle of the street, just like staring off into space, talking to Captain Marvel. And then like his girlfriend's just like staring at him like, what's going on? So yeah, Captain Marvel lets him know that, hey, I know you're doing a concert right now, but it's about to be cut short because my time limit's almost up and I gotta come out. Rick's like, just give me 5 minutes, everybody. Like he stops the concert. He's like, give me 5 minutes. I need a breather mid-concert. And then once he gets outside, that's when Captain Marvel starts explaining that the Fantastic Four were battling Annihilus, the Lord of the Negative Zone. And then they opened up a portal, which is where he was at before. They opened up a portal to Earth, which allowed Annihilus to jump through. And now Captain Marvel wants Rick to open up the portal that is the space. The portal, for some reason, Reed opened it into the Baxter building. So
he sent his enemy
into his house, basically. And another reason that landlord is probably just pissed off. So Captain Marvel was like, I need you to go to the Baxter building and open up that portal again so I can come through. Like, we no need to do the clean of the wrist. Like, I can get through that portal. So Rick heads straight over there, and Captain Marvel, I'm going to shorten his name because Captain Marvel over and over is going to kill me. So sometimes Rick calls him Marv. Most people call him Marvel. So I'm just going to stick with either Marv or Marvel for most of this, so you guys know who I'm talking about. So Marvel forces him to switch spots once they do get to the portal, or once they get to the Baxter building. And he makes his way up to the offices of the Fantastic Four, and of course they're out of town. So he breaks in because he's not a criminal. And too far away, the 3 bench players of the Avengers get a message saying that someone forced their way into the Baxter building. So they shoot over there and they see lightning coming out of the building, which isn't supposed to be happening. So Marvel is doing everything he can to open the negative zone portal from his end. So he and Rick don't need to do this back and forth thing anymore. He does so, but the Avengers try to stop him once they get up there, and it doesn't work. Rick jumps through the portal, and all is well. That's the end of the story, or so it would seem.
What? So I guess my confusion is, will something happen if they don't switch and go back? Like
if they never opened up the portal.
Yeah, like if they both stayed on Earth, like would something happen?
I think I read before that Captain Marvel at one point he couldn't sustain enough energy to stay like on Earth for that long.
Oh, okay.
On top of that, I believe they were cursed to just continue to keep making the switch. So they
could die or something like that. Okay, because like this seems like it fixes their problems.
Yeah, it's that's what you would think. So Rick jumps through. That should be the end of it. Should be good. What we find out is that Annihilus never actually jumped through the portal when Captain Marvel thought that he did.
Oh no!
It was like an astral projection that he. But I guess this was all part of Annihilus's plan to get that portal to open up in the first place. So he put it in Marvel's head that he had done it, knowing that he would
follow him through.
Yeah. So Annihilus ends up jumping through at the same time as Rick. Apparently, it was just a vision before. It wasn't what Marvel thought it was in the first place. So now that Annihilus is there, he's handing out ass whoopings like to everybody. There's not a person in sight that's not catching hands from Annihilus. Rick makes it to the machine that opened up the portal, and he tries to close it because Rick's not fighting anybody. In none of these stories should Rick be fighting anybody.
Rick has no superpowers.
No, he's a normal teenager that just happens to switch out with a cosmic alien every 3 hours. But he gets no benefits from any of that. So he's trying to close the portal. Annihilus thinks he's smart by grabbing Vision. But like we said before, he's grabbing Vision because he's like, if I'm going to go back to the negative zone, somebody's coming with me. So he thinks by grabbing Vision, cool, I got one of you guys' Avengers, you're not going to send me back. But he doesn't know that Vision can just phase out. So Vision phases out, Annihilus falls back into the negative zone, and then that's all through with. After all that's done, we find out that Marvel stole the Quinjet while they were fighting Annihilus, and he just took off. They were all down there risking their lives, and he took the Quinjet and just went off. The Avengers see on the Fantastic Four's machine that Captain Marvel was giving out major radiation. Wherever he's at right now, he's giving off like these massive radiation spikes like everywhere that he's going. And Rick thinks it's from him being in the negative zone for longer than the 3 hours. So they think that because he's giving off that massive radiation, they think he's gonna just die. So he's flying the Quinjet all the way to some place called Cape, Florida. I don't know if that's a real place.
I think that's where they went.
I think that's Cape Canaveral. No. I don't know.
Maybe they just forgot to add the Canaveral part in here.
If that's the case, they forgot it a lot.
They were on a lot of drugs while they were editing. So
I don't think they were editing some of this stuff. There's a lot of inconsistencies in a lot of this stuff.
Just a side, in my story that I read, I'm pretty sure they called Aunt May Aunt Max. And I was like, someone's not doing their job.
Yeah, that's not even a woman's name. Especially a woman that old. Her name is not Matt. So, yeah, Captain Marvel's flying to some place called Cape, Florida, and he forgot to gas out the Quinjet. So, it starts running out of fuel, and he just jumps out and lets it crash. He's like, I can fly, whatever. He jumps out. Lets it go.
Wait, he can fly. Why did he take it in the first place?
Because he was all the way in New York. That's a long way to fly.
He flies through space. Distance is not a thing.
What is that? 800 miles? That's a long flight.
Space is a lot bigger.
you gotta talk to Marvel about this stuff. This is why we're doing this. Yeah, so like when I was saying a second ago that they didn't edit this stuff very well. All of that chunk from Rick being in the concert to the plane crashing, That was all a flashback. It doesn't. Yeah, we'll go.
You could have kept telling me, and I would have just thought that's all happened.
Yeah, until I started going further, and you're like, "Wait, how did we get to this point?" So yeah, that was a flashback, and now we're back in present time, and Captain Marvel is back in the electric chair.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
Because the Avengers have grabbed him.
Yeah, because he crashed, and he still doesn't really know what the hell's going on.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like I said, it gets confusing, but it is a good story. So he's in the electric chair, but the electric chair doesn't have enough juice. And we also get the explanation here that they put him in that chair to remove the radiation from his body. I don't know how electricity does that, so don't ask.
Yeah, no scientist.
But they put him in the chair to remove all the radiation from him. So Vision, but the chair doesn't have enough juice. So Vision allows them to use his solar power. And Vision explains that he's basically just a walking solar panel. So.
Oh yeah, because in the books, Vision's his stone in his forehead is not the soul stone like it is in the movie. It's like a solar powered, like can shoot solar beams from it.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's basically a walking solar panel. So that does work, taking his solar power to fuel the chair. But now they're both just laid out. Captain Marvel's, they removed the radiation, but now Vision's also out as well. He has no energy. And then we roll over to the next page where we see the Supreme Intelligence and Ronan the Accuser face to face. It's a big jump there.
I know you just jumped to space and now there's like alien beings.
Yeah, I think this might be like the first time that we've actually like gone to space on any of these stories. Yeah, Supreme Intelligence and Ronan are face to face. Ronan says he's on a mission to kill Captain Marvel, and he to do it he awakens a sentry that he sent to Cape Florida years ago. He's had this plan in the works for a while. So that the sentry that is in Cape Florida people on Earth don't know what the hell it is, but they know it could be dangerous, so they've had people guarding it this whole time because it's just been laying there. And once it wakes up, it just starts killing all the humans around. Anything in its sight, it kills it. And its mission is the same as Ronan's. It's to kill Captain Marvel. So the sentry finds Captain Marvel pretty quickly because I'm assuming that they're going off the massive radiation spikes that were in the area. So he finds him, and the Avengers are ready to fight as soon as he gets there. But
this is still the B team, though, right?
Yes. So, but with Vision out as well, so now it's really just Scarlet Witch, and
it's the B- team now.
Yeah, we're heading towards the C team.
With Vision, they were strong B, close to an A, but strong B. But
at
now
this point, it's only a C if the teacher's curving the grades at this point. So. Yeah, the C team of the Avengers at this point are ready to fight, but that doesn't go well for them. He lays a smackdown on every single one of them. And then the Sentry is like, he grabs Captain Marvel in one hand, and he states that it's now time to enact Plan Atavis, but they don't really go into anything explaining what that means. And
is he big, like a giant?
Yeah, kind of like Goliath size.
Okay.
So I don't know what that is, like 30 feet or so, something like that. And then we don't see Captain Marvel again for a while. And then as the Avengers sit there and kind of lick their wounds, head of security, Carol Danvers, shows up, and she has a lot of damn questions about what the hell's going on, what the hell just happened. And Vision isn't having it. But she makes them all fill out reports. She makes them all fill out reports about what happened before they leave. And so they do it, every one of them. And then as soon as they land back in New York City, they get a call from Goliath, Clint Barton, saying that he got a call.
I forgot he was going by Goliath.
Yeah.
When you said Goliath a couple seconds ago, I was like, I don't know who that is, but I'm just going to say okay.
Yeah, okay. So the Avengers get a call from Clint saying that he got a call from the Wasp saying that her and Hank are in Alaska doing like a research trip, and there's some trouble out there. So the Avengers head over to Alaska, but they have Rick in tow, so they take him too. You can't just leave. You can't leave a child out there by himself. So when Goliath, he went first. because he got the message first. So when Goliath gets out there, Janet tells him that they were flying around on government work on their way to a government outpost, and they lost contact. They went to go investigate as the Yellow Jacket and the Wasp, and they see like this large green jungle in the middle of the snow. It's just
This
big...
is Alaska?
Yeah. And there's a big, huge Amazon-looking green jungle right in the middle of the snow. And all of a sudden, this huge 1-foot-long dragonfly flies past the both of them. So they're like, that's not supposed to be here. 1, dragonflies shouldn't be here. 2, they shouldn't be that big. So Hank's like, well, that's not right, so let's go explore that. So they hop on the dragonfly, and because he can control, I guess, any kind of bug, yeah, he uses its brainwaves, and they fly it down to the jungle area. But Hank doesn't want Janet to get hurt in any of this, so he smacks her off of the dragonfly. He backhands her off of the dragonfly.
This guy's got some issues
because he doesn't want her to get hurt.
Is this before or after like the infamous like argument that they have?
I want to say it's before.
Okay, that makes sense because it kind of keep getting worse and worse. Okay,
yeah, they're gonna get worse. So yeah, he smacks her off the dragonfly. She falls down. She passes out, and then we don't see Hank for a while. And Clint says he's gonna go find Hank, but then he dips on Janet because he doesn't. He dips on Janet because he doesn't want a woman around when he goes, because him and Natasha just broke up. So he can't even fathom the idea of working with a woman right now because his girlfriend just broke up with him.
This is terrible.
So as soon as Clint gets inside the little jungle area, he's jumped by some mutant gorilla lizard hybrid, but then he beats that. And then as soon as he beats the gorilla thing, he gets blasted by Ronan, and he gets put under mind control.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when the Avengers and Rick finally show up, they see Janet and Goliath and the Sentry are standing side by side in the jungle area. So now the Avengers, the B team of the Avengers and Janet are face to face with now a mind-controlled Goliath and the Sentry.
Is Vision still out?
No, he's okay now.
Okay.
Now he had enough rest. So they start fighting. Janet finally gets in some good hits on Goliath as kind of payback for leaving them there. But in that whole fight, that's the best that they got, was just a few good hits on Goliath. Ronan has Captain Marvel trapped in what he calls the Citadel, which is basically just this big building in the middle of that jungle area that is shooting out these rays that are making it's almost have you read anything about like the Savage Land?
Yeah.
It's almost making it like that. Like
that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So like there's
just terraforming.
Just basically terraforming the whole area in a big circle. It's causing all these mutations in these animals and stuff like that. But Captain Marvel is trapped inside of the Citadel.
Where do these animals come from? They're in Alaska.
I have no idea. Like
a gorilla lizard. Neither of those animals live in Alaska.
Those are not there. The dragonfly's not there. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, Captain Marvel's trapped in the machine inside of the Citadel, and Ronan states that his plan is to now eliminate all of mankind. It was originally just to kill Captain Marvel, but now he's pissed. And he wants everybody gone.
Do we know what his beef is with Captain Marvel?
They're both Kree. And I think it was the fact that Captain Marvel was originally supposed to be like the savior of all Kree people and the protector. And at one point he found out that the missions that they were sending him on were more of like kill missions, like assassination kind of things, and less protection orders. So when he found that out, he decided that because some of the missions that he was supposed to do were on Earth, he decided that he wanted to be a protector of Earth instead. So he decided that he didn't want to be like, he's still Kree, but didn't want to,
like, he gave up his citizenship.
Yeah,
almost.
basically. Yeah, I can't think of what the word is right now, but yeah, he did that, and then basically once he did that, Ronan was like, he's a traitor, and
I want him dead.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So I guess basically Ronan's kind of stepped into what Captain Marvel is supposed to be, but in a way more evil aspect of it.
Mhm.
Like he's taking it way overboard, and I don't think that, from what I've read, I don't think that the Kree people really wanted Ronan in that spot in the first place because of how evil he's always been. So yeah, that's where we're at. So Ronan says he wants to just eliminate all of mankind. He says he wants to eliminate man because they've advanced too quickly. So of all the things that you would want to kill somebody for, it's because they've advanced too quickly. And then we get Hank back in the picture, but he's been transformed into some sort of monster, and that basically happened from the waves from the Citadel. As anything that is hit by the waves for too long, it basically de-evolutionizes everything in there. I don't know. I still don't know how the gorilla lizard thing happened, but
I don't know where the trees come from.
I don't know. I don't know where any of it comes from. So with Hank back in caveman status, he's ready to kill Janet, but he's ready to kill Janet, and she realizes that she has to fight him.
Mm.
And then like mid-fight, she has like a change of heart and just like, he's my husband, I can't kill him. So she just like gives up. But then because he's still like de-evolutionized, he's like whatever, grabs her, takes her off like King Kong style. And then the Avengers B team is still fighting the Sentry and Goliath and Ronan. And Ronan is just kind of explaining how he's going to ruin Earth to Captain Marvel. Like Captain Marvel's stuck in the Citadel, like with these energy beams just like holding him in the place.
Yeah.
And Ronan's just telling him like every bit of his plan.
The evil villain speech.
Yeah. And then outside the Citadel, Goliath finally gets beat by the Vision. Vision and Wanda get beat by the Sentry, and then they're taken to the Citadel as well, where Captain Marvel is being held. Vision says 1,000,000 times in this story that if he could pray, he would pray that he could be in love. It's the most random thing, but he keeps like, he says it so many times. He's like, I can't. I'm not programmed to pray, but if I could, I would pray for love.
In the middle of a fight.
Yeah, they just took him in to the Citadel. He's like, man, if I could pray, I'd pray for love.
That doesn't make any sense either.
It does. But I think this is like, he's already, I guess, forming feelings for Scarlet Witch.
Mm.
But because he actually isn't programmed to do that, I guess he's just like in this like punch drunk love kind of phase of his existence. So, and then throughout the story, certain Avengers start to like pick up on like, at one point Captain America was like, it's almost as if he loves, and then like mid-sentence he's like, no, he's not programmed for that. That can't be it. Because like Scarlet Witch gets like trapped somewhere, and like Vision's like, no, we need to get her now. And Captain America's like, he's really on this, like what's this about? So yeah, that's what if he could pray, he would pray for love. And then Quicksilver shows up to help his sister because she's getting beat down. And then while that's going on, Ronan gets a message from the Kree Empire that they have been attacked by the Skrulls and a war has started. So he's like, well, screw these guys, I'm out of here. And he just goes back to the Kree Empire. And then after Ronan leaves, I guess the Citadel's only powered by Ronan being there. So when he leaves,
he just gets a call and he's like, all right, I'll be there. Turns the lights off, packs the suitcase,
yeah,
puts his hat on, and then just disappears.
Yeah, I imagine, I read the comic, but I still imagine it like he does all that. He turns off the lights. He's like, all right, let me leave one light on just in case. And then he grabs his keys, and then he's like, Sentry, you ready? And then the Sentry's just outside standing there, and then he hops on his back, and then he just fly off. But that wasn't how it happened. So after Ronan leaves, Hank is turned normal again, and he says he belongs in the lab and not on the battlefield. So at that point, he formally resigns from being an Avenger, and so does Janet.
Yeah.
I think I have one in there. Nope. So after that, they all go home. A few days pass, and the B team is they're chilling in the Avengers mansion. Vision has his turtleneck on. He's just relaxing, reading the newspaper. And then when he looks at the newspaper, there's headlines reading top secret battle between the Avengers and an alien race known as the Kree. That's the headline. And the B team is pissed because they wanted to keep that whole thing a secret so the world wouldn't panic. But it's too late for that. So there's a guy named H. Warren Craddock, and he's the head of alien activities. Sorry, the head of Alien Activities Commission. And he says he's coming for Captain Marvel because he thinks that he's a Kree spy. And then Captain Marvel is also in that. I should have said Captain Marvel and Rick are in that mansion with the Avengers just hanging out for the last couple of days. So after they read that, Carol Danvers shows up. And she shows up in a chopper to take Marvel away. And the whole city sees the Avengers letting Marvel get away. Captain Marvel get away, so the city turns their back on the Avengers. And then the next day, the Avengers have a court date because apparently they let a criminal get away. And then while they're in court for a while, Rick has some vision. In the middle of court, Rick is on trial as well, just so we're clear. Rick has a vision, and he runs off. So court is adjourned for the day. And back at the Avengers... Oh, sorry. So there's a little tidbit here that I wanted everybody to know. The Avengers have a mansion, and they have the Avengers townhouse as well. And the B team is staying in the townhouse.
It's like the minor leagues.
Yeah. Yeah, so court was adjourned for the day, and then back at the Avengers townhouse, the people of New York City are ransacking the place. They ran through the whole thing. They tore down the curtains. They flipped over couches.
That's like the equivalent of like someone being on trial for just helping a criminal, and then you just breaking into their house and be like, drapes gone, TV on the ground.
They ruined that place. So when the B team shows up, they're looking around the house. They see it's all messed up, and then all of a sudden the A team shows up.
Ooh!
And that's Captain America, that's Iron Man, and Thor. And then the A team tells them that they broke the team bylaws by letting Captain Marvel go. So they're breaking up the Avengers for good. And
wait, all the teams?
Yeah.
The A team, B team?
Yeah, there's no more Avengers. Because they broke the team bylaws. And the B team gets kicked out of the townhouse.
Wait, so Vision, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver?
Yes.
That's the only B team?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a small... it was... And then Hank, Janet, and Goliath were part of the team as well.
Oh, okay.
But they were all kind of doing separate things.
Oh.
But now Hank and Janet are off the team. Sorry, Goliath was on the B team as well. So he got kicked out too. So now they're homeless. And then we skip ahead some time, and the unnamed team of Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor are in their unnamed office when Vision bursts in and he starts asking for help before he collapses on the ground, and for some reason Iron Man checks his pulse.
He's dead.
He checks his pulse, and then that's exactly what he said. He checks his pulse and he's like, "Oh my God, Vision's dead." And then Iron Man puts out word to Hank because he needs another bright mind to help him out.
He was like, he's dead. No heartbeat. Skin's cold as metal. All signs of a dead person.
He's been dead for hours. So Hank shows up, but the A-Team doesn't know that Hank quit the Avengers until now. And then Hank also lets them know how dumb they are for thinking the Vision is dead because he was not breathing. And then Hank, as Ant-Man, goes inside of Vision. That sounds bad, but he goes inside Vision's body to fix him, and then he takes off before Vision wakes up. And when Vision wakes up, he's pissed at the A-Team for kicking them out and stopping the Avengers. You kicked us out of the townhouse. You stopped the whole team. Like, what the hell is that all about? And they find out that, like, the A-Team wasn't actually the A-Team. Like, Captain America, Iron Man, they're all looking around like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Oh.
They can't figure out what's going on, but they realize that some imposter had tricked them, obviously. And then Vision explains that after they got kicked out, they went to go find Carol and Captain Marvel at the hideout house that she had upstate. And then when they arrived, Vision flew over the fence because he can fly, and everybody else is trying to figure out how to get past the gate. And when he gets over the fence, he's attacked by some beams of light. And then when he lands in a field of cows, the 3 cows surrounding him all of a sudden turned into the members of the Fantastic Four.
Oh, I know what's going on here.
Yeah. Sorry, the fake Fantastic Four beat the B team, of course, and they take off with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. And on that note, I think we're going to call part 1. So the ending of this episode is going to be a little bit different because we're obviously not picking teams yet.
Yeah.
We're not giving a rating yet. We're just going to say thanks for listening. Again, thanks for the 100 downloads across all 8 episodes so far. We really appreciate that. And we will be back next week with part 2.
Part 2. Stick around if you want to know how this ends.
And if you're binging this, hop right over. Because I'm sure it's there by now. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.